Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. This is Linda. I've got a lot of stuff to show you today. It's March 1st today. March 3rd, Stampin' Up! Is dropping a whole bunch of new online exclusive products. Online exclusives meaning they're just not in a printed catalog, but they are available for everybody, whether you shop online or email or call me or whatever. But they're basically, every few months they keep bringing out new things to keep it fresh, and it doesn't mean they're going to be around forever. It just means that, we want new stuff now. So I bought several things, and I want to show you what I bought, but there's a lot more that will be online, and I'll send you all the links to those on my blog at lindastamps.com on March 3rd. Now the first suite, I think there's 4 new suites coming. The only suite I bought everything for was this one, the Homemade Sweetness, because it's so different than a lot of things that we've had before. I didn't have anything like it. We've had jars, we've had little things. This is big. This is big. Let me show you how big this is. First of all, there's the stamps and the dies. I'll show you those. And then there's really fun paper. But let me start with the stamps first. My mind was blown when I saw how big these were. Like the whole size of a card. 3.5 by 4 inches. So this is a big stamp. Of course, they're all photopolymer now. A big stamp and the die that cuts that out. But it also, you can cut 2 of them at once, or you can cut them both like this. Stamp one, and look, now you have a card. So it'll cut that, which I think is going to be so much fun to play with. This is all show and tell today for the products, and then through the next few weeks, every week I'll highlight a different bunch of projects using all these. So let me go through the dies real quick. Look at this one. Isn't that cool? I even thought with fabric it would be really neat. So it has the topper for the jar. It's got lids. It's got a stamp for the lid, and then it also has just the die that you can cut that out with. These right here. There's all these fun labels, which I think they're going to be fun to play with, and they have stitching on them like that. The spoon, which I really want the whole spoon. I suppose I could find an oval to go with it, but I think the idea is that you make it and then you just, put it in like that. You just, it's just that part is supposed to stick out, but I want the whole spoon. And then there's also like the dies that will make like a wrap for that. And there's even a little bow. Look how cute. Look, the little bow. Oh my gosh. And then flowers. And then in the stamp set, there's the stamp, the lid, You're the Sweetest, Love You Very Much, Homemade for You, which is going to be great even for the holidays when you like to give homemade gifts. Thank You, and the blueberries and the strawberries, which stamp really cute. And they're the right size to go in a big jar like this. And then the sentiments, which are great. I always like to stamp mine on vellum. First of all, when you first get a new bundle like this, go ahead and run all the dies and stamp all the stamps. If there is a problem, if there's like a little defect or something, it doesn't happen very often, but if it does, at least you'll catch it soon. But I also like to stamp them on vellum, so I can kind of go through and see what fits in all of the different dies. So that's kind of helpful. I always keep that in my stamp set. Now there are the paper, which is adorable. Now, interestingly, none of the dies cut out anything in the paper, but that's okay. So these are more the smaller scale, and this is more the larger scale. So even if you want to just play around with just the paper and cut these out, I think they're going to make adorable cards. I'm definitely going to do some projects with that. And that's the back side. This one is all spoons, hearts, ladybugs. Look at the ladybugs and the little white daisies. Oh my gosh, so cute. And we still have these guys that keep coming in and out of stock, the ladybugs. And by the way, side note, there is a ladybug embossing folder that goes with this suite. It's called Ladybug Picnic. I tried to do it on gold because I thought you could see the detail better. You can see the little spots on the ladybugs and the little daisies. So fun. I can't wait to play with that. All right, move back to here. All right, I love the blueberry bushel gingham, floral, red checks, And then all these little mini jars. How cute. Yeah. I love this notebook paper. I can think of so much fun things to do, especially if you give food as a gift and you want to write a note like a little recipe card. That would be really cute. And then a lot of fruit. And then the solid blue. So like I said, even if you don't want to get the whole suite for $98, which is a lot to get the dies and all the things that come with it, if you want just a little bit of it, just get the designer paper because you can do some really fun things with that. And then of course they also have the coordinating cardstock. That's the big bundle that has the multi two-tone cardstock in there. So it's lighter than our cardstock and it's two-tone. So for instance, one side is dark and one is light. It has a white core. You can emboss it, you can sand it, or you can just use it for layering, which I really like a lot. It takes a lot of the weight off the cards. It's becoming one of my new favorite papers. Has all these really great colors in it. So you can get just this and the designer paper and you would have all kinds of fun things to play with. The suite also has a Misty Moonlight checkered ribbon, which will be fun to put around the jar. And they also have these squishy embellishments, which they're making more of, which I really love. They go through the mail like a dream. So they're flat and they're squishy. They're like a little foam. And there's little strawberries. Can you see? Wait, let me get up here. I wish you were next to me so you could see it. See the cute little strawberries? Yeah, in those colors. So the ladybug folder and all the things, that's just a really fun suite. Oh, also for the lids, I don't know if you remember, a few years ago, we had this galvanized cardstock. It was silver. Let me see, pull this off, there we go. That's what I stamped this on. So it's a foil, but not like a super shiny foil. It was called galvanized, and I still had some of it. And then I realized that some of this paper coming out on March 3rd, it's called Lunar Luster. It's so similar to the galvanized. It just has a little bit more luster to it, but it's gonna be great for the lids for the jar. I think that's gonna look great for that sort of thing. I think it's a nice alternative to shiny silver foil. It's just kind of muted, but still lustrous. This next one I was super excited about. It's called Service Essentials, and it is military focused. I think it's gonna sell out quickly, honestly. There's so many organizations for people that stamp for the troops, but it's got lots and lots of things that we really needed. There are really awesome dies that come with it. Let me show you what the stamp sets and dies look like. So there are dog tags with a little chain die right here. And then like the aviation wings, they've got like the sergeant or NCO ranks up this way. You've got the military star, and then the medic or the medical corps right here, stars, hearts, and these cute little guys right here, the two labels. So I think it's gonna be great. There's also a pack of these black and white, and they're the foamy stickers again. And what I really like about them is that you can color them. Now the blends make it look more like a watercolor star, but a Sharpie works perfectly on the white to make your stars different colors, silver, red, blue, whatever you want to make them. So, and there's a lot of them in the pack here. The sentiments are great because they've got thank you for your service, so proud of you, you make a difference, to a real hero, and welcome home. So these are just so wonderful to encourage those that are in the military. I printed off a couple samples that I found online. There's not a lot out there yet because it starts March 3rd, but I imagine you'll start seeing more and more. Mary Dethridge did this beautiful Secret Sea sort of monochromatic looking card. So proud of you with the dog tag behind it. And this one, Handmake with Love. I don't know her name, but this sample is really cool and it's so simple. There's a die cut circle and then, you know, the cross and then just some diagonal stripes. So I thought that was really well done. So I'm looking forward to using this in a few weeks. This one I bought just for fun. It doesn't have dies or anything. It's got the little rollers, the paint brushes. a rainbow of thanks just for you, and then these fun little paint washes. And I can just see having a paintbrush here and then the color coming down. So I'm going to play with that. That's going to be fun. At the beginning of January, Stampin' Up! Had a virtual class that you could buy, and it had this bundle in it, and then it had paper and embellishments, and they did a virtual class that anybody could take. And so I did it with a few of my demonstrator friends, and we had a lot of fun going through this. This is a nice bundle. You can get away with just having the dies if you want to, if you don't need the sentiments, because the dies have this really big floral frame piece, which cuts out kind of open edges in a way. So you can put it anywhere on the card and it creates a window. So the edges don't cut, is what I'm trying to say. You can put it in a large piece of anything and just cut the middle out. So that's really pretty. And I'll be using it to show some projects that I made with it. But I really love these labels here. These two layer with each other. And there's a little tiny embossed edge. Oh my, are you gonna be able to see this? Let me see here. There it is. See the embossed edge? It's just delicate and pretty. And I really love this size right here too. The sentiments are beautiful. Like I said, I don't think you have to have both if you don't want to, but I really love You're on My Mind and in My Heart, Always and Forever, Thinking of You. I love the big font. I like how they stamp like that. So I definitely got both. There are some stamps that work with the dies, and this big one is really nice. But you can see how nicely the You're on My Mind fits in this long die right here. I mean, I think these are great. I would even use this without the stamp set and this without the stamp set and these little flowers. So I think you could get away with it. But if you don't have something that's a nice bold font, then this is really a nice one. And see, even in this larger frame, I was able to put You're on My Mind and in My Heart all in one frame too. So you don't have to use them separately. So it's a nice big sentiment. I think I'll do this one next week and show you all the projects for that. This is called Delicate Dreams. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous paper with copper accents in it. Can you see the shine? It's got crumb cake, and there's even a hint of a new color coming called Hydrangea Hue, which is sort of a periwinky kind of color, and mossy meadows in there, and crumb cake. Oh, it's so very, very pretty. There's the back side. It's just painted. And then this pretty one. You've got like a natural canvas weave right here on the back side of that. This one has the copper embossed foil there. Well, it's not embossed, but it's shiny. And then that one. And then this pretty one right here with pretty flowers. Just a really nice color palette. And I really like this one with the squares. I have ideas for that. And this one is very, very dark Secret Sea with some copper little baby flowers on there. And you can really see this Hydrangea Hue color right here. It's purple, but it's blue. It's kind of right in between. And then you've got some of these long feathery leaves right here with the copper. And then this one is just a great pattern on the other side of that with the white and the crumb cake. And again, the star of the show, this one right here. That's going to be, people are loving playing with this already. I'm seeing this a lot online. These guys right here, these are the natural matte dots, which if you're going to get this paper, get this too, because they're like the hard enamel dots, but it's like somebody stepped on them and made them flat. So they're not rounded, they are flat, but not flat, but they're much easier to mail. Okay, wait, let me see. You know, if you could just be here. Let's see, there you go. Can you see that? They're flat. So if you get this paper, pick up these dots because they really go well with it. There's also a gray granite ribbon that coordinates with this. You can see it's got the grays in it. So it's just a nice, pretty, basic ribbon. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. It ties nicely. It's nice and strong. It is just like we've had it in sorbet. We've had it in other colors, the same style. Oh, and then there's a really fun daisy folder, which for those of you, I know some of you really like daisies. There is a really cute daisy embossing folder. Can you see that? Yeah, it's kind of small and large daisies everywhere. It's called Lazy Daisy. I did it in white just to kind of get an idea what it would look like and if I could color them. And then I also did it in that galvanized looking metal so you can see the detail. Very, very rich, like a brocade almost. It feels nice and textural. So if you like daisies, that would be a good one to get. I just had someone ask me the other day if Stampin' Up! Had soccer stamps, and they do. So there's a bundle. I didn't get the whole thing because I don't need that much. I do know a couple kids who play soccer, so I got the designer paper. But there's really cute dies with the net and the ball and stamp set. So if you have a kid or know a kid who's playing soccer or an adult, this would be really fun to get. It's very brightly colored. It's got all the great numbers. Look at this. And the paper, it's really, really fun. And of course, I'm sure a lot of scrapbookers are going to use it for soccer memorabilia, but it's a great paper. Nice and fun and bright. Now, I am a huge fan of Berry Burst, so I was all over this beautiful shimmery Berry Burst ribbon. And there's a whole suite around this garden petal patterns right here. This paper is called Garden Poetry. Kind of has the gradient look between blackberry and berry burst all through here, and then the painted watercolor on the back side, and then it morphs into the poppies and the corals. So you get a lot of different color choices with it because of the gradients. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Blueberry bushel, secret sea, a little bit of navy in there. That's gorgeous. And then the greens. Beautiful. And then here's the yellows and the oranges. And then the blues and the greens. I just think it's just gorgeous. And then to go with that, which I can't believe these look this great. Let me show you up close. These are called garden epoxy dots, but half of them have teeny, teeny little flowers inside. Do you see these rows right here? Yellow, blue, and then the berry burst and like a pink. Do you see the little flowers in there? Look how sweet. Those are so fun. And they're not raised up that high. They're going to be okay to mail. They're small enough. So if you like the brights like that, that would be good. And this goes along with those papers. This is called Garden Textures. And they're just foils, but they have like a kind of a cool linen pattern on them. So you've got the berry burst. And there's white on the other side. It's got the blueberry, which I thought this would be really pretty for those military cards too. And then a real pretty, I think it's supposed to be shaded spruce, but it's super bright green. It's really pretty. So that's going to be fun for accents. And then this one has more of the copper tones in it. This is called Delicate Designs. I think it's meant to go with the other one that I showed you, the Dreams. But this has got copper foil and flowers. And I think there's just two of each. Little one in the copper. Sorry for the glare. Nothing on the back side of these. And then the checks. Like that. Just nice accent paper. You don't need a lot of it. You want to do a whole card with it. You definitely just do strips and pieces because a little bit goes a long way. And then the last thing I bought, Wood Grain Wonders. Anytime there's a wood grain paper, I am all over it. Wood grain goes with everything. It goes with flowers. It goes with cards without flowers. It's so useful. I have a couple cards that are on my rack here that I I pull out old projects that I did a long time ago and I start putting them on my rack to start sending them. And like this one, this is an old one with wood grain, and the sunflowers with wood grain. And I made a birdhouse with wood grain a while ago. So let me show you what these look like. There's no embossing, it's just printed. So you get two different colors, kind of the espresso and then more like a honey pecan. Oh, there's three of each. That's nice. Okay. And then you've got your light green. So it's like vanilla and basic beige. I don't know if you can see that. It's so fine, it's hard to see. And then more browns on the other side. Those are very similar, aren't they? One's just a touch darker than the other. That's the other side. And then you have a light green wood here. Just kind of pretty. And on this side, more of the white and the cream. And then more honey, which is very similar to that. It's got like the pecan pie color in it and that color on the back. So lots of opportunities for different wood grain projects, and I like that they're very fine, so you can really pair them with a lot of things, and you can even stamp on them. So that is what I ordered. So on March 3rd, I will post all the new things on my blog at lindastamps.com, and then I'll be back the following weekend and start showing projects. All right, we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.